90% of absorption occurs in the small intestine. That's good to know, because if there's small intestinal issues, whether that be someone's gotten part of their small intestine removed, whether that's a gastrointestinal issue, bacterial overgrowth in the intestine, we can probably also assume that there's a nutrient absorption issue, which means downstream it's going to contribute to a lot of symptoms the client may experience. So, I picked diagrams purposefully after nerding out in Google for 17 hours. Top left corner, we start zoomed out. Where are we in the world of the human body? We're in the small intestine. Then let's go a little bit deeper. Within the small intestine, it's really wrinkled to take up it has a lot of big surface area. It has a lot of folds. It has folds so it can have more things inside of it. It's not just like a flat piece of paper. If it's folded up, it can have a greater surface area to have important things on it. Those important things are villi. Do we remember what the main function of our villi are?
Increase absorption.
Very good. Riley, were you going to say that?
Yeah, increased surface area to them they absorb.
Good, you're both right. That's a very quick response, Jimena. Rapido. All right. I don't know if my Spanish is just annoying or funny. Or maybe both. Thumbs up? Great. The villi are important for absorption. People with celiac disease, people with gastrointestinal issues, and I'm speaking quite generally just to help you understand, often can have villi damage, then absorption problems. Another reason why I will typically go liposomal for our nutrient deliveries for B12, for zinc, for B12, glutathione, often because so many people have gut issues. On the bottom left is actually what it looks like under a microscope. Pretty cool. The villi allow the nutrients to pass through into the bloodstream. Now, who's heard, my stomach hurts? From clients, from children. Who said that? You're all wrong. Why am I saying that? Why are you all wrong? Not all of you. There's a small portion. My tummy hurts. Where? I just want you to remember, as White Rabbit types, that when a client comes to you with pain, it's very important that you ask where. Do not take their word for it, because you need to understand the proximity and the location, which will help you identify the cause and the pathology or the issue. Top left region, more stomach. If you see bloated, distended, painful stomach, you can think, painful top left, you can think stomach. Maybe H. pylori, maybe some type of parasite, maybe some type of inflammation. When we start to go lower is when we start to get into the gut. More central and distal, more large intestine. More small intestine. No, I said the right thing. More distal, closer to the midline. I'm talking about closer to the midline is large intestine. Further away from the midline is large intestine. Okay, just you understand. You see the diagram while my brain starts to. Thank you, Branson. a lot of enzymes are going to be produced in the jejunum, just the first part of the gut, the small intestine. That's where you get that release of secretin. Don't need you to memorize it. Just nice to know. Okay? Okay. Now, the CCK stuff becomes relevant when someone gets their gallbladder removed. Anybody know any clients who got their gallbladder removed? All right. So I'm going to talk about the gallbladder later and what it is. It's very important for digesting fats. That's where this little CCK guy comes in. All right. Then we have jejunum. A lot of nutrient absorption happens here. A nice little drawing. I actually drew this. I didn't, actually. That's a lie. Just another example of how you can think about how the villi and how they increase the surface area so they can absorb lots of nutrients for you. All right. Just finishing the intestinal phase. We have enzyme release. We have nutrient absorption. We have connection to gallbladder being removed. Okay. Then we have this guy called the pancreas. Now, what do you guys know the pancreas to be most known for? You should remember this from our nutrient presentations and Benjamin's presentations. You can voice. Main functions of the pancreas. I don't think you have business coaching people through body composition change unless you understand this guy. That's a bit of a harsh statement, but I'm a harsh guy sometimes. You said whoops. That's a good whoops. Good catch. The green thing. Now that green thing, you go right, Jimena. Riley, what's the other hormone that counteracts insulin? Starts with a G. Not glucose. Glucose is... That's okay. That's a good try. And then I know what you're saying. Maybe that's a Spanish way to write it. Yeah. Good, Jimena. It's glucagon. Main function of glucagon is... Insulin puts things away. Glucagon takes things out. Long fast, glucagon up. We need to liberate the stored energy inside of you. We need to take it up. All right, so this thing is just underneath the stomach. If I've got my anatomy correct, I have. So that's the small intestine, the orange part, right here. And then this pancreas looks like this big fatty thing. Now, digestion and blood sugar. That's what I want you to remember the pancreas to do. People get pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas. When you hit titus, think inflammation. When you hear pancreas, think enzyme production. Enzyme production, think I need to absorb my nutrients, so I need to help absorb my nutrients so I can become a superhero. Otherwise, the nutrients I consume are not going to be absorbed properly. And then I'm not a superhero, I'm a super zero. Yes, nice, Jimena. Studying in nutritional biochemistry. Well, that's what we cover here too in Trinity. Now, I'm not going to get into the causes of gallstones. Kiara, do we have a gallstone protocol overview?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course we do.
I'll double check. I think I did make it.
Thank you. hashtag it in the comments. We might have a gallstone overview. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Like AI, like you're going to put in GPT, like gallstones, how to fix, protocol, functional blood work. Like that's it doesn't do functional blood work yet. Like good. It does traditional ranges. It's still like matrix influenced. It's just not smart enough yet for functional ranges. But I'm going to be able to upload my. One second. Yeah, I'm going to be able to upload my functional ranges, and then it's going to give information in there. So gallstones, we have protocol. If you have clients with gallstones, let me know, and I can help you. We can help you. All right. So now, I know some of you, like the diagrams can be a little bit complex. I'm just going to break this down really simply. It's a beautiful, sexy diagram. Let's just go to number one. Like what's happening here? Number one. Try and convert that into something that's a little bit more relevant for you. Food is ingested. Food is ingested. 2, we get these enzymes being released from the pancreas. Enzymes released from our mouth, from our pancreas, inside our small intestine. Okay, they get put in the intestine. Now, if someone has a dysfunction with their pancreas, which in the functional blood work module, which is open now, you guys will see that there are links to pancreatitis. There are links to pancreas issues. You're going to see a pancreas issue. You're going to look at some blood markers, and you're going to say, oh, that looks like a pancreas inflammation issue. Okay? And then you're going to say, oh, they probably have some gut issues as well. You're going to start to make links. Why we have good bitter stimulation is because bitters, and Kiara, can you put in the comments some bitter foods that we can incorporate with our clients to help with this stimulation? So you don't just need to give clients enzymes, you can give them bitters, bitter foods. Starting your meal with bitter foods is not only helpful to reduce the area under the curve for insulin if we're trying to improve like diabetics and like fat, I'm going to say fat people, overweight people, people who have too much body fat. Start meals with bitters, start meals with fiber. Rocket, radicchio, artichoke, dandelion. Most easily accessible will be your canned artichoke. I used to buy that from the supermarket. Have it at the start of my meal. Really nice. You can go to Woolworths, $7, $6, $5, whatever it is. All right. So that's a practical action for you. Start meals with bitter foods. When you're at a restaurant, start with your rocket. Start with kind of your pear vinaigrette, your rocket, your pear, your vinaigrette, all mixed up together. Especially if the client has a tendency to overeat. Yeah, man, sorry. So the way I said it was, the way I was come out as a question looks funny. The relation to bitters and fat people, overweight, too much adiposity, metabolic issues, high insulin, high blood glucose, right? Type 2 diabetes presentation. Eats a meal, long-standing large production of insulin that's damaging to the epithelial, damaging to the endothelial, like the cardiac tissue, to the entire body. Okay. Let's back it up. We need to improve the client's response, or pancreas's response and body's response to food, because they're already dysfunctionally, improperly, over-exaggeratedly responding to food with a lot of insulin. How do we do that? Improve their metabolic health. Let's just start with the meal with bitters. Let's start the meal with fiber. And that's a great, Kiara just made another comment, which is helpful as well. Helps release bile to digest fat. Beautiful. Great questions, guys. All right. the hell is a bile? A sac under the liver that releases bile into the small intestine. SI, small intestine. When you pay the matrix to do a university degree, and by the way, this doesn't apply to people like Kiara. Kiara is doing some study right now, and she's one of the few people who would get a lot out of university, and I am as well. I actually got something out of it every week. I liked it. With some of the shit they teach. And they'll spend about 45 minutes on one organ. Maybe, yeah. You're just going to spend one slide or a couple of slides. Releases bile. Here's what it looks like. The red thing is your liver. The yellow thing is your pancreas. The green is listed as your gallbladder. Liver produces bile. Gallbladder releases bile into the intestine. You remove the gallbladder because you have a gallstone, which we have a protocol and overview for, I believe. Then you significantly affect your ability to digest fats for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now, bile, made by this liver guy, emulsify is like a fancy word to say one more time.
Breakdown.
Hello? That's what emulsify means.
Mix together.
Thanks, Kiara. What, that wasn't obvious by all of this? Gotta make it memorable. And will help the absorption of your fat-soluble vitamins A, E, D, E, K. So if we have bile or gallbladder problems, which again, you'll learn how to look at on blood work, or might have some fat absorption problems, might have some nutrient absorption problems. All right. Now, when you look at blood work, you're going to see enzymes that you can measure. Amylase and lipase. So we get a measurement of enzymatic function, which is cool. We can see digestive function partly through liver enzymes and total protein. So we can get some indication of what's going on here. Now, pancreas not functioning right, low enzyme output. What's the symptoms? Bloating, fatty, oily stools, particularly if they have bile gallbladder problems, problems digesting fat. Anybody know any clients that have fatty, oily stools or stools that float? Kiara, you do? You can speak.
One of my clients historically has had like gallbladder issues, not anymore. And then one of my newer ones as well has history of gallstones and issues there too.
Was there not anymore because you guys addressed it or because some other reason?
No, we addressed it.
Okay, this is practical. And what did you do? What are some things you did that really moved the needle there?
That's it.
I can't remember because I've been seeing her for like over a year and we did it right at the start. Sorry, that's not helpful.
No, it's cool. Go back through your protocol if it's not too much trouble and just put it in the comments. If you have it. All right. So those are some symptoms you can look out for. In your screening form, you can ask the question around fatty, oily stools. When you're asking your clients about gut issues, you can ask about fatty, oily stools. You'll notice, they'll know. People just don't look. I don't really look. But my Bristol's on point. Just in case you were wondering. When you buy digestive enzymes, when your client does, it comes with a bunch of different ones. You should understand which ones do what, because it helps you read the label and know which ones to take and which ones maybe are not that useful. A's suggests it's an enzyme, reminding you. The Mendel's and Lappy, they're just mnemonics to help you remember. Mnemonic is a memory technique. So you have all these individual enzymes to break down all these different proteins and carbs and fats. The main ones that are going to be most applicable that you're going to see in the wild on supplements is your amylase, your lipase, your lactase. Guess the percentage of Asian populations that are lactose intolerant and do not express the lactase enzyme effectively or enough. What percentage? What percentage? I'll wait for one more. 2 to 2. Yeah, it's gonna be upwards, from the data I've seen, it's upwards of 90%. High. Proteolytic enzymes, they break down proteins. Pancreatic enzymes like amylase, they'll break down your carbohydrates, except your long chains of carbohydrates that are things like fiber. They remain mostly indigested and end up in your stool. Science. This table just gives you a little summary. Yeah. Right. So, reading the comment from Kiara, how she helped her client with bile issues. Any questions or thoughts on the small intestine? Different components, don't need to memorize them. Just know they exist because some people get parts of them removed. Riley.
Was that last little bit pancreas or small intestine?
Oh, excuse me. It was the pancreas. Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and I skipped
Can I
over.
summarize?
You guys will get the masterclass. I'll email it to you later. Of course you can summarize. Please do.
So the main function of pancreas is to control insulin, as well as help release bile to then help digest fats and fat-soluble vitamins.
And pause you. Okay. There's a missing function. I think blood sugar in general for the pancreas, not just insulin, glucagon, insulin.
So as well as regulating blood sugar.
Pancreas regulating blood sugar. You just said insulin, I believe. I would just want you to make sure you mention both.
Okay. And how do we summarize that as a whole?
Well, the pancreas, main functions are to regulate blood sugar and to support and facilitate digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins via the production of enzymes. And bile. Enzymes and bile. By the way, what Riley's doing, Riley talked to me in a one-on-one. He asked, how can I learn better? And, it's a really great question. And one day I'm going to create a how to learn module. And one thing that I encourage him to do is really engage. Like when you feel stuck, when you feel unsure, like stop, ask me. Like it's okay. Don't expect you guys to be able to keep up and understand every little nuance here. So Mauricio, you too, I really want to give you permission and space. Or intimate, private, small group. Trinity is exclusive and private and intimate for a reason. And one of that is because it maximizes learning. So use it. This is a summary of the pathway from all the moment the food hits the stomach. Chyme is a mixture of acid, enzymes, and food, all into a big sloppy mixture. This is just the step-by-step. For those who want to read it over later, you can. Segments of the gut. I can't remember exactly, but our friend Jackson Pios, I believe, has a problem in the region of the sigmoid colon and rectum. If anybody can remember the particular issue, let me know. But it was triggered during a high caloric surplus, but he had some long-standing issues as well. The gastrointestinal tract is it's very adaptable to human body and the GI, but it's not very supportive for high chronic consumption of a large abundance of calories in excess of, in excess of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 calories a day. Now, the large intestine, this is now many, many hours, 4+ hours of digestion has passed. Things 4 to 8, if I remember correctly. Someone can fact check me. You're going to start to enter the large intestine. Yeah, any of you ever wonder how long things take to go into you and leave you? Look up gut motility time. Or Kiara, you can put that in the chat. Now, constipation is going to be a really common issue around this region. Some of you have eaten food before. Things just pass through you really quickly. What is not really being absorbed? Straight through you. Number of issues for that. We covered that in the last presentation. We see people on plant-based diets have higher stool matter because higher stool quantity because fiber makes up a meaningful amount of your stool. We actually get absorption of vitamins. And so a few vitamins, one including biotin in the large intestine. There you go. K2, B7, B5, B9. All right, practically, the most practically relevant is your absorption of those vitamins. Another practical is the hydration status of the client, the fiber intake of the client, how much processed foods they're intaking, which is going to influence their microbiome, which we'll cover later. And here's a note on constipation with Constipation Man. Yes, Riley, before we move on to Constipation Man.
So there's absorption that happens in the large intestine.
Yes.
Is most of it happening in the small intestine though?
Yes. I was right, good. Takes 2 to 6 hours to reach the large intestine. And 10 to 59 hours for food to move through the large intestine. That's so insightful. So now, how does this matter? Think about body composition now, timing of food. You eat a meal late, maybe 2-3 hours later than usual. You step on the scale in the morning, you're heavier. The stool contents, the bowel movement hasn't been complete or usual to normal. You're going to have somewhat of an inaccurate reading in regards to your body composition direction. Do that have a lot of variance in when you consume food, particularly dinner, have variance in your weigh-ins. Variance in your fiber, variance in your salt, your water, your food consumption, variance in your weigh-ins. Really important to communicate that to the client so they have lower anxiety around their weight. Nice one, Kiara. Now, fancy word coming. Enterohepatic recirculation. What the hell? Recirculation of hormones and toxins. If there is a slow transit time, like it takes you like 40, 50 hours to evacuate and have a bowel movement, or constipation. What's the one hormone that's influenced here with constipation that can raise when there's not frequent bowel movements? Well done, Jimena. And thank you for the definition, Kiara. That's really proactive. Thank you. Yeah. Anytime you hear hepatic or hep, you can think liver, entero, like inside, in this case, intestine. So estrogen. Now, if you remember from our hormones masterclass, client constipated, client female, excess estrogen, PMS symptoms, life not good. People will pay a lot of money for you to fix them through these issues. Share this stuff on your social media so people know that you even know how to deal with it. Estrogen dominant symptoms, watch out for your itchy skin, your histamine related issues, your headaches, your PMS, your breast swelling, your anxiety, your acne. Danielle, can you please get me some water? Please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'll go to the constipation protocol. We have it here. Just type in constipation, search for it. We have some solutions. I also should have a case study in Zion too. Have part of your large intestine removed. Expect there to be B12 problems. Use liposomal B12. I'll leave it there. Opening up the floor. Thank you, Dad. Who wants to see inside your gut? No? Here you go. So where are we? We're at the cecum, bottom left on an anatomy diagram. So it's bottom right. Let me just double check. Cecum. Here you go. This guy. This opening right here is the cecum. That's where we are. The start of the large intestine. Appendix, we think, is important for immunity and the gut. Many people get that removed. Now, the 3 vitamins produced in your large intestines that you should probably remember are vitamin K. And why the hell should you care about this one? Blood clotting. Would you like not to bleed out? Ideally, vitamin K is important for that. A marker for that on your bloods is going to be your platelet marker. Platelets. Interestingly, infants are given a vitamin K shot. Why? Because they clot really poorly. And they don't have also the gut bacteria that produces vitamin K. Because the large intestine hasn't matured and populated fully with bacteria. However, what they don't tell you is that actually this tends to happen pretty quickly. Okay, so why is this important? Do you want to get your kid immunized? Do you want to get your kid... we're not going to go too deep into it, but you're going to ask, do I want one of my first days of my infant's life to be like physical pain with an injection? Or is it smart for me to protect my child against these diseases and these problems that can occur? We'll get to that later, future Trinity stuff, future of Zion stuff. You should know, they'll probably say they're going to get a vitamin K shot, but they probably won't mention that the infant will start to produce vitamin K themselves. I believe, if I recall correctly, it's within a few days. So the window of risk is a few days. Kiara, you can fact check me on it. I think I read somewhere between 3 to 5 days. So that's something to consider. I just answered it. B7. What's gluconeogenesis? What is that? Think about the word gluconeogenesis. It's important for anybody who works with nutrition clients, which is all of you. From, yes, formulation of glucose from. Think more simple. Think more. I don't know science. Layman's terms. When your body is deprived of dietary glucose, it will create it from a few days. Great, thank you. Yes, Jimeno. AKA from non-carbohydrate forms. Tell me you're in university without telling me. You talk about carbon. Look out for flaky scalp, brittle nails, hair thinning, high-dose biotin can skew blood work. Clem was taking some biotin in the retreat, in our Vietnam retreat. He's trying to grow his hair. The evidence isn't that strong for it. It's okay. I wouldn't go there first. Those are some symptoms you can look out for. Pantothenic acid B5. You need it for neurotransmitters. And those are just the few vitamins that are produced in the large intestine. B5, B7, K2 or K. K. Cool. How are we looking there?
Can you show that last slide again, Alex, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
The microbiome. What's the gut microbiome? What do you guys know it to be? Just take a guess. Thanks, Branson. Go ahead, Riley.
The contents within the gut. What do they call it? Flora?
You say flora?
Yeah, flora.
If you said flora, that's not a bad word to use. It's not exactly the contents of the gut. I mean, it is inside the gut. Dum 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 no dum dum. It's trillions of bacteria that live in the gut and aid with digestion. Is she right? It is bacteria. She is right. It lives in the gut. Main functions: immunity, defense against pathogens, energy metabolism, creation of things. Oh no, that's bacteria. Energy metabolism, fat storage, vitamin synthesis. You have trillions of bacteria inside of you. They're influenced by the people you kiss, the people you have sex with, the food you eat, the environment you're in, the things you touch. You have microbiomes on your face, which can influence skin issues like eczema and influence the pH of your skin. Your pH in your skin, for example, needs to be acidic enough in order to not cause things like acne and rosacea. When you see little things on my face, it's uncommon, like a little here, you can know that it's not necessarily microbiome related, that's more stress and sleep deprivation related for me. But if you ever notice, you haven't noticed it because I haven't had it in years, in past videos, a little rosacea under my cheeks, a little redness, and eczema, pH of my skin is not acidic enough, bacteria, I'll just say pH of my skin is too, so we could say bacteria like Staphylococcus microbiome is produced, and microbiome in my skin not very good. Vaginal microbiome we have that's implicated in like bacterial vaginosis. It's a common female condition, candida, things like that. You're just a walking pile of bacteria. Now, here are all the different microbiomes. I just mentioned like 2. Lung, gut, skin, gut, thyroid, etc. Just a lot going on here. Kids that pick their nose and touch their skin and touch themselves, they'll transfer bacteria and they can often get like little skin issues. Guys who do BJJ and the mats aren't clean, someone has staph. Staph can kill you. You'll see this like hole protruding and forming in your skin. It's pretty serious. Most people get on top of it pretty well. But combat sports, you'll see a transference of bacteria, bodily fluids, open cuts, open wounds, staph. All right. Okay, Simone. I hope you get better soon. More IV drip. I'm just glad to see you even came. All right. Majority of the gut flora is in the large intestine. When you see a migration from the large intestine to the small intestine, that's when SIBO, it's a common relationship of SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which we'll talk about soon and is also in Zion. Carnivores will tell you not to eat fiber. We'll drop fiber out commonly when we're doing gut protocols because it can trigger fermentation and gut issues. It's not the cause of it, it's just trigger, and you should be able to consume fiber just fine. Most of it anyway. We think it produces special type of compounds that can maybe help reduce cancer risk. Why is that relevant to you? Because it influences how much or the amount and the types of fiber you may recommend to clients. And whether that's a staple thing that you recommend, I say it's a thing you recommend with nuance, watching the symptoms of how your clients respond. Stimulates satiety and fullness, can be really helpful in a deficit, but with gut issues, it can trigger more bloating and gassiness. You feel like poke someone's belly or gut or yourself and it's like a balloon. Eat a lot of fiber and that can trigger it and draw a lot of water in. And it's this wide variety. Okay, so most people rotate the same foods. If you speak to people who are usually on more of the cutting edge of nutrition and gut, they'll talk about nutritional diversity. Try and have a nutritionally diverse, seasonally rotated intake of food. What does that look like? Well, it's probably a good idea to seasonally rotate your fruits and vegetables. Seasonally rotate, or just rotate all your cuts of food every season. More variety of food, more opportunity for beneficial bacteria to be colonized, which allows protection from pathogenic harmful bacteria. What's the main point? Diversity. Get your clients eating more types of foods. Interestingly, most of you are going to have kids. Yeah, of course. Most of you are going to have kids. Try and do your best to have a vaginal birth. Particularly you, Riley, and Mauricio. That's a joke. You don't have vaginas. Haha. Infant passing through the vaginal canal is like a petri dish of amazing bacteria for the infant. Or not so amazing if the mother has issues. Mothers who, infants who are given, and Kiara, you can of course elaborate on this. I know this is a great topic of yours you love. Mothers who give birth by C-section, their infants and their children tend to have more autoimmune conditions, more gut issues. Even we see a link with things like ADHD. I think there's a link with autism. I would need to double check, but a whole host of psychological and physiological factors. That's right. They call that seeding. It has some risk to it, but it's done carefully. They'll swab. C-section, what do you do? Emergency, sometimes you need to. Swab the vagina, and you put it on the baby, on its face, on its body. And it's called seeding. So the baby can get the mother's bacteria and microbiome, and it can start to have a protective immune effect. It's really cool. Oh, you wrote vaginal seeding. Yeah, cool. Nice one. Practical. Fiber. This is what I'm talking about. 14 grams per 1,000 calories. You can use your nutrition tracker to help you do this. What types of fiber? This is practical. Start to incorporate more of these types of foods with yourself and your clients. Why it's cooked and cooled is because when you cook rice and cook potato and you consume it from the restaurant like hot is different chemically, like to when you cook it, you cool it, like put it in the fridge and you consume it the next day. The amount of insoluble fiber that's in that is way higher. The starch content and the chemical composition of the starch changes in a more favorable way. And if you want to really go down a rabbit hole of complexity, the caloric content and of carbohydrates of cooled rice and potato is different to just warm. It's not that different, but it's different enough to be like, fuck me, in recording calories. That's a bit of an exaggeration. It's not fuck me. It's just like, oh, cool. Vernix. What's Vernix?
Vernix is like the stuff that's on the baby's skin when it comes out.
Yeah, it's got that white coating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it marinate. How long?
I think they delay bathing for as long as possible, honestly.
Yeah,
like in the functional community.
Parents bathe their children so much.
Yeah. It annoys me so much when I see like birth videos and then like 2 seconds go by and they're already wiping it off. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, it's so important for them. Hey, look. So, kiwis with skin, apples cooked and cooled. All right, start to incorporate these. Mauricio, Jimena, Riley, and everybody else watching. Now, if they're IBS prone, ramp slowly. You might not even add much fiber. If you notice a worsening of symptoms, pull back a little bit, change the type, or just fix the underlying issue. But just be careful. Excuse me. Example. Green bananas have more soluble fiber. Personally, I love green bananas. I think they taste better. Is edamame there? No, green peas. Now, practical, you can start to incorporate some prebiotic foods, kefir, yogurt, more kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, Japanese. Another practical, start to incorporate more meals around things that are high in polyphenols. What are polyphenols? Just think, would you rather you and your clients not die from cancer and preventable, minimizable diseases? Less inflammation. Yes? Nice. Consume more berries. I recommend 200 grams a day. It's something I aim for, particularly blueberries are really high, but rotate. I have a lot of blueberries. Probably I should rotate more. Raspberries, boysenberries, blackberries. Frozen mixed berries are a scam because they weigh that shit with like 70% strawberries. Just get the straight blueberries or the raspberries. I should probably say cacao as well. Yeah, Riley.
Alex, for rice,
Yes.
if you reheat it again, you still get the same benefits.
As in you cool,
Cook.
then you reheat. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to go a little bit deeper on it, GPT it, and it'll explain the mechanism in a simple way. Oh, and if any of you... Oh, it's not going to be here. Little side tangent. For those of you who want to do help yourself with learning, not only do we have AI integrated in Zion, you can look up anything within Zion. There's something called Study and Learn. That's what I use to help me create the case study we're going to cover in a moment. And Riley, give me a subject that you're struggling to learn and you want to get better at.
One, probably just overall gut health and understanding it, like linking it all together.
This is a vague prompt. Let's see what it does. I'm just going to show you. Gives you an analogy. Asks you questions. This is good. It's smart because I've put in it my presentation, so it's relying on information I gave it. It's going to make a visual while we do this, so that's quite cool. So I would start to use that, guys, and that will help your learning tremendously. All right, let's get to probiotics. During and after antibiotic consumption, you guys saw my supplement post, my cheat sheet, it's in Zion. Probiotics, when a client is going through some type of GI distress, or antibiotics, 2 of them, Saccharomyces boulardii, Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Have them in your cupboard ready to go. Don't wait till the problem happens. We got the supplement brand cheat sheet. I have all. Thank you for Kiara for helping put this together. We have a lot of my favorite brands, all mostly linked through iHerb, just so it's easily accessible. If you need practitioner grade, come to me. I can order it for you. Not just cheaper supplements, I should say. All right. We're going to go through gut health and immunity. They play an intimate role. This is important so your clients don't get sick as much. Now, this is a nice... Let me grab... Hold on. Where's my thing? Take a look at this slide because it's a nice analogy of how you guys can think about the gut. Heat. All right. All right. Let's go to the other one. Yeah, the entire, like we said last time, the entire length of the gut is covered by a single layer of cells. And you can think of your gut as having like soldiers that defend the gut. Okay, let's go back. When enemies arrive. When they fight enemies like bacteria, pathogens, stuff that's causing inflammation, they kind of grab onto and they use different types of immune cells or different types of parts of the military to help fight. You have these like specialized T cells, you have these more general like dendritic cells. So these guys are all recruited to help fight. When you look on a blood test, you're going to see white blood cells being elevated, which are a representation of all of these guys. And then you're going to see other ones that are a little bit more specific, like neutrophils and basophils and eosinophils. And each one has a different link to different gut issues or just general inflammatory issues. Okay. That just explains it. You guys love the presentation. nice images. I really do spend quite a bit of time making beautiful images for you guys to make it more interactive and make it more beautiful. I think things that are beautiful and aesthetic are more generally engaged with. You have a more enjoyable process and have more dopamine. There's a bit of an equation that now I want you to write down, and that contributes to why some people are more susceptible to these issues than others. You have genes, and you have a trigger. Someone who has more susceptible genes is going to be triggered by certain things that I or you may not be. Celiac disease is an example. The trigger in celiac disease is thank you, gluten. For you, Riley, gluten may not be a problem. For Jeremy Borzillo, gluten's a problem. Shout out to Jeremy Borzillo. OG Woodford. Mauricio knows him. Anyway, people with celiac disease gonna be a problem.
He makes cameos every.
He makes cameos everywhere. Yeah, he's like a mascot for the Melbourne fitness industry. He's the best. Now, you have some type of leaky gut, underlying gut damage, barriers weaker, more susceptible, maybe a lot of stress going on in your life, maybe high antibiotic use. Then maybe you have, like I said, celiac disease, IBD. Then with this equation, we start to see the outcome of SIBO, the outcome of symptoms and GI issues. So I want you to consider this in the recipe of what contributes to autoimmune conditions, what contributes to the gut symptoms you see. There's many pieces to the puzzle here. But there's actually not that many. There's just a couple of key ones to keep in mind. Any questions on that? Ranson, nice to hear from you.
Likewise as well. Could you just go recover the barrier failure and the immune tolerance for that? I got the first two bits of that, of what that kind of looks like in the equation, but just those last little bits.
Yep. Let me just visualize the barrier failure. Let me see if this probably won't give me what I want. Maybe it will. I'm going to show you intestinal permeability. It actually is going to show me exactly what I want. That's great. All right. Oh, that's a nice diagram. That is so cool. Okay, what are we looking at? Right. Actually, let me go. Maybe start a little bit simpler. Oh, this isn't animals, but it actually should. Now, the gut is semi-permeable. What does that mean? That things can pass through it, but things close back up. Let's go on the left. These are really tight, close together. They open up, they close up, things get in the bloodstream, they get absorbed. Open, close, open, close, open, close, like a zipper. All right, great. What can happen is in a leaky gut situation, which is intestinal permeability, things open and they stay open. Think celiac disease, think gluten sensitivity, think IBS. The barrier is weak, damaged, not very effective. So this is what we mean when we say the term barrier failure. And so not only are you more susceptible to bacterial overgrowth, pathogenic bacteria getting in, sickness, you're more susceptible for things like inflammation. Let's go on the left here. You can actually see villi being damaged. Lipopolysaccharides is LPS, is like immune damaging molecules. They go in. Where do they go? Man, they go in the bloodstream. Inflammatory markers, which you'll see on liver enzymes. Increased obesity. You care about body composition, you should care about gut. impacts your pancreas, inflammation. Then we can start to see these outcomes. You can see, think about this. What you hear is the client says, I have diabetes, I am overweight, I have cardiovascular disease, I have non-alcohol fatty liver, I have high cholesterol. That's what you hear. But look upstream. What's happening to contribute to that issue? We're looking here, and like this is why like the supplements like won't just fix these things. There is a higher order of consequence. There is a higher order of issues to address. It's often centralized at the gut. Cool, right? If you want to copy that diagram, there you go. Now, how does that sit, Branson?
Definitely a Pandora's box that just got opened for sure.
Okay. Well, how do we tie a nice little bow on it? What are you unsure about?
So for me, it was more coming back to, I think you mentioned something about basically stress at the time, where that can like more likely increase barrier failure. Like I was just more referring to that part of what you were speaking about and just confirming that side of things.
Yep. It's related to hormones like cortisol, and I've done posts on this. Just gonna find a nice little diagram. Bear with me, guys. This is the only reason I actually use Google now. It's to find studies and images directly related to studies. All right. Too complex. Look. As you can see, the relationship to the gut and stress has a tight link to your adrenals producing cortisol. What that misses is the damage that's happening, and this might do it. You just get a bunch of different immune cells that start to turn on, trigger like a fire. Here you go. This is very nice. But this is general stress, infection, antibiotic. Just understanding, just understanding that the relationship between cortisol is one where you get a bunch of these different inflammatory cytokines. Just think of them like a bunch of little fires that are like damaging the delicate intestinal barrier. Those immune cells. Type. Now, I'm going to hear from all of you on this one. This is what some of your clients look like in cartoon form. We're going to help them. Everybody will answer anonymously. If I can get that feature, enable Q&A. Ask anonymously, you can tick. Hello. Hopefully we see that. You don't have to answer anonymously, but I invite you to. Now, here is the case study tying things together. You have a client, common issue, it's going to be simple. Her symptoms are she feels bloated almost every evening. She gets heartburn a couple times a week. She's constipated unless she takes a laxative or has a couple of coffees. Bowel movements every 2 to 3 days. Pretty hard to pass. And her diet consists of processed foods, cereal, sandwich, lunch, pasta or takeaway, sweet snacks in the afternoon. and drinks 1.5 liters of water a day. Not crazy small, but not too much. No alcohol consumption, sleep 6.5, stress is pretty high. No conditions, no recent lapse. Now, that's what the client issue presents us. Let's have a think. What's happening early in digestion that could set the stage for later symptoms? What problems are happening early in digestion that could be contributing to some of the symptoms she's experiencing? 1 to Jimena, Riley, Mauricio, Branson, Kiara, you can jump in a bit later, like once you've seen a few comments. So I should see 4 comments in the question box, please. It's a real client case study. Low stomach acid. Okay. I want you to think a little bit more upstream. What do I mean by upstream? Think early stages of digestion. Think cephalic phase. Think behaviors. Early stage. All right. That's good. We're going in the right direction there. All right. It's not very anonymous. It's all right. It's at the bottom. Yes. Giving you guys anonymous so you feel more comfortable to speak and make mistakes without social consequences. Not that I care. I love that you guys make mistakes because you learn. Good. All right. There we go. That's upstream. You guys are correct. Let me now help you out and give you some of the answers. What some of the things that you could consider: speed of eating, low chewing. Now, we didn't know this for sure, but you can put pieces together. If someone's high stress, they probably have this presentation. Think about the food consumption, low protein, low fiber variety. What is the number one cause that we saw for these gastrointestinal issues? It was a high consumption of ultra or processed foods. She has a lot of it. Chronic stress, reducing vagal tone, just that connection from the gut to the brain. We can see very fast motility or very slow. Motility means the movement of contents through your gut. None of you said hydration. Think about her constipation. Okay? All right. So, we see this. Connection. Next question. Now we're downstream. One of you answered downstream already. How could those upstream, the things we just listed, be causing problems in her digestive system? Okay. I like where this is going. I love this. Yep. Think about the constipation. Great job. Great job. That's downstream. Yep. Poor nutrient absorption. Really good. Good job, guys. Okay, but you want to think specifically, what nutrients, low gut motility? Yes, that's downstream. That's linking to estrogen. All right. Cool. It's good everybody's answering. Symptom-wise, that's that gastric phase, that second phase, contributing to those symptoms. Why? Think not enough acidity, enzyme release. Now, too much fiber and too little fiber can both be things that trigger constipation. It's a little bit of a, if I'm using the word correctly, like an oxymoron. Like both things can exist. Now, none of you have said yet, if I look correctly, dehydration. It's in Zion. I think it's 0.022 times body weight in kilos for our minimum hydration. Now, we don't know how much she weighs, but we can guesstimate. It's probably going to be at least 2 liters of water a day. Really easy, low-hanging fruit. Also, our fan favorite, squatty potty. All right. Now let's get practical. If you could change one thing, actually, I'm not going to do one. If you could change 1 to 3 things for 7 days to see the impact, you want an early win, what would you pick and why? Please do answer why. Just remembering the symptoms. Like now it's like, what would you do? What would you change? These are her symptoms. Go. All right, it's Charlie. It's nice work. Nice work. Very nice. Mm-hmm. 1 to 3 things and why. Get the client the win. Make them feel better. Think about what's causing them the biggest issue. It's going to build trust. Many, many plants. I want you to be specific. I want you to tell me which plants. We covered a few of them. All right. What type of fiber? What type of plants? Just list a couple. Go back on your notes. This is the last question. And I don't know if you're writing, Kiara, but you can go in. Yes. Okay, let's go this one. Hydration intake. Let's be specific here. How much hydration? Walking after meals, that's good. Smell food and chew slowly to salivate, faster enzyme release. Good. How much you going to tell her to smell her food? I like the 3 breaths in the gratitude and prayer, or just gratitude. For those who aren't that way inclined, chew slowly. How slowly? Plantain, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Now, broccoli is a FODMAP. So is Brussels sprouts, I believe. So it can trigger fermentation and more gas production if she has that. So if you notice that, just pull it back. I would typically introduce low FODMAP vegetables first. How do you know? You just look it up. No way you're going to remember all your FODMAPs. There's every food has a FODMAP. Plantains. I love plantains, actually. I don't know the fiber intake of plantains. I'm about to find out. Plantain fiber intake and type. Stand by. (27% of plantain fiber is soluble. Great. Plantains, shout out. They're part of the banana family, so we have 4.5 to 6 grams of fiber. That's great. Good job, plantain person. Mineral water. Why mineral water? Stress relieving activity pre-meal. I think that's really good because people often eat in a stressed state. I like to try and eat away from where you work or have to really slow down and breathe. Change breakfast to start day better. Yeah, change it to what? Change it to what? Stress management. It would lead to more mindful eating, less heightened nervous system, potentially better food choices. Yeah, less excitability of the vagus nerve to if the client was experiencing fast bowel movements. Premium routine, good. That's good. Y'all are paying attention. Putting spoon and fork down. Protein, whole food focus. Aiming for 1.6 to 2.2. Okay, this is good. You just feasibly, you might have some troubles taking a client who takes 50 grams of protein, let's say, to triple. So just try and work incrementally up. Work with them. 30 to 42 mils per kilogram. I haven't heard of that reference range, but if it's sound and scientific and it works, it works. One to 2 cups of water to start the day. I would try and get half a liter in. 2 cups to go and hit it. 1 to 2 deep breaths between mouthfuls. You're gonna. I think it's nice in theory. You're gonna find people struggle to adhere to that. It's gonna start to become maybe quite mechanical. The fork down in between. And eating outside. It's like creating an environment where the behavior becomes easy. Because eating outside is relaxing. Oh, you said it. Get outside with a friend in the office to go on walks. Well, you said it differently. And have a yarn. Who says yarn? I don't know who says yarn. Who's that? Is that Riley? Maybe. Is Riley a yarn guy? Looks like a yarn guy. Do eggs with fruit and sourdough for brekkie and fresh OJ with salt. That sounds like a Kiara answer because she said OJ with salt. But she doesn't say orange RJ. She would say orange juice, I feel. Mystery. If someone's responding to a high-fat meal with diarrhea, just be mindful of like gallbladder and bile issues. So you might pull back the eggs, have 1 or 2, mix the rest with egg whites. Because eggs can be hard to get high protein without having so much fat, which puts a little bit of pressure on the gallbladder and liver and bile and things like that. Like 5 eggs, 25 grams of protein, 30 grams of protein, comes with that, like 20, 30 grams of fat. All right. You want yogurt to fix the protein. If it's a YoPro, yes. If it's a Greek yogurt, it's pretty low to moderate. Bolster that with some... I think meat for breakfast is actually quite good. Like mince. But that's quite based. Sig's Skyer. Yeah, I know the brand. It's good. All right, guys. I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you. That's it. How did you guys find the case study, the quiz, the more interaction, things like that? It does take me, quite a bit of time to do and create, but I'm really making an effort to make things more a better learning experience for you guys. So, yeah, you can unmute yourself. Tell me one thing you learned and how today was. Riley.
I liked the segments. I feel like it was a little less jumpy. I feel like we went through... My AirPods just died.
That's all right, I can hear you.
It felt like a little more clear. Like we started with like like large intestine, pancreas, small intestine, kind of like work through like a sequence. It was easy to kind of like follow along. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Easy to follow along.
Yeah, easy to follow along. And I liked the quizzes and stuff. It was nice just to kind of tie it back in. Just have like, obviously just like learn stuff across the week and then to actually do a quiz, practice it was cool. The case study at the end was good too, because then we got to apply most of the stuff.
Beautiful. Thank you. Before the next person goes, thank you, Riley. I want to let you know that we're actively in the process of updating more and more of these. I would draw your attention to our anemia in our functional blood work. Really relevant, really important. We are revamping and updating our red cell count, RBCs, really important for energy, fatigue, well, the whole hematology panel is. We have hematocrit updated. That's important for as a marker for dehydration. Mean corpuscular volume, a really nice marker to detect B12, folate, iron, etc. deficiency. So I've added in these beautiful graphics so you guys can see and really just go through the process of like what can throw these bloods off, why things are high, why things are low. And then at the end, after you go through it all, I'm going to release a piece, well, it's not my software. I'm going to show you a piece of software I use that will make your life a whole lot easier. But I can't show you right now, okay? That's at the end, because you got to understand what you're looking at. So I just want to show you guys that we've been updating it. It's an active process, and it's very exciting. Next, maybe Jimena.
I like it a lot. I really enjoy when you do quizzes at the start. I think I'm a bit competitive, so I'm like, oh, I need to get this right. And I don't know if you see my stress when I do it, and I'm like just logged in. So yeah, I really like the quizzes.
Yeah.
And I like learning about the gut. Like I think when I started 20 I told you I want to like learn about gut health. So it's pretty good for me because I knew this stuff, but like not clearly. And I feel like I'm connecting points and I'm refreshing the memory. So it's good.
Oh, thank you. That's really good to hear. And I want to give you a lot of credit, Jimena. Shout out to Jimena. She has gone through 85% of the gut modules. You're doing great.
Thank you.
And at the bottom is this new case study that I would recommend for you guys. Mauricio, I know some of these subjects have been very novel and new to you, so tell me how you're feeling today, honestly.
Yeah, this is definitely not something I had prior knowledge to, but I think I'm picking up as we go a few things. I definitely have to go back and revise a couple of times, but definitely I find this stuff really interesting, and I enjoy learning the whys. Like I've heard all these like smell your food, chew, but just actually knowing why I like that. So
Good.
And the quiz really helped.
Good.
Like I like getting things wrong because like I remember it.
Yes. Awesome. And guys, first pass of learning this, don't expect to get it. Some of these, I know practitioners who run courses and mentorships, coaches who are really smart, and I know a few of them, and they have really good memories. Some of them have photographic memories. Some of them have like conditions that allow them to have like a little superpower towards memory. I don't have that. I'm just obsessed. I just found the thing that I'm obsessed with, so that helps. Would recommend you pick that career. So if any of you are obsessed about something that's not this subject, do tell me, and I'll make sure to help you. If maybe your obsession is actually like, I don't know, furniture. Anyway, what's my point, Mauricio? My point is, I was like you guys, where I looked at a subject, and I was like, fuck, what did you just say? And I look at a diagram, and I wouldn't know where to start. And it would just be completely novel to me. So, but now I'm here. And I can fix people who are really in suffering. And I can really explain complex physiology. And there's still things that, I got to refer back to my notes and I got to make sure I double check. There's always going to be that. But I want to let you guys know that I used to be the kid in the classroom who felt really dumb. My grades were average or below average coming up. You don't want to know my ATAR score. Now I run a school. I felt insecure about my intelligence. There was many people who were academically smarter than me, and I really worked hard at it. And yeah, I just want to give you guys an encouragement that I don't think I'm particularly gifted in that way. And now with the tools and resources and access to me, Zion and Trinity, yeah, you guys will be able to learn faster than me for sure, particularly with GPT. You guys will be off it. So I hope that's relatable. I saw you smiling, Riley, so maybe you can resonate. Yeah,
I've searched something in GIFs, and that's what came up.
that's Dave Chappelle, my man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Branson, what do you think of today?
It's great. I felt this one resonate a lot more for my own training nutrition sides of things in particular. So just around looking more into the intestines in particular to know more on the whys for that reasons as well as a different sort of motive compared to how I make this applicable when the challenge I've had in the past is trying to apply this to some of the kids that I work with, and that sometimes might be a bit hard, a bit difficult with some aspects. So trying to do it on myself first and foremost, to be that guinea pig is definitely always the most handy bit from today's stuff that I can look into more.
Yeah, always go self first, because you guys should turn into superheroes so you can help people more. Next is for kids. I would be asking the parents, hey, does your, I'm developing a really thorough understanding in gastrointestinal and gut health. You can ask the kid or you can ask the parent, do they experience any gut issues? Just start to get curious, investigative, send quizzes off, gather information. You don't need to treat, diagnose, do any of that. We can just get information right now. Then you'll know solutions. If you are wanting to go in the direction of the complete performance basketball offering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything else they want to share or ask me on any topic before we leave?
Actually, probably one small thing for me was just the getting clear on the difference between upstream and downstream as well. Something more simpler one too.
Upstream, downstream. So upstream, just think literally up, top head, talking senses, talking cephalic phase, talking environment and behaviors. Downstream, think gastrointestinal, think genetics, organ system level. Yeah. I know we talked a bit about AI. I'm really dedicated to staying at the forefront of advancing technologies and learning for you guys, so you guys can stay ahead as coaches, as health professionals and business owners. Just know I'm working really hard, diligently, fast, and adapting really quickly to the changes going on. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on this ever-changing world. So, next week, guest speaker Charlie. More gut health, practical. Make sure you go through the modules. make sure you go through the modules, and you're having 1 hour per day in here to learn. Doing our best to also finalize the retreat accommodation. We've been looking for about 2 months to finalize the location, the right accommodation. And so Danielle and I are at work. Stay tuned. It's about 12 weeks away. So it's exactly 90 days away from today, approximately, to give you a rough date of our estimated timeline. Cool? All right. Peace, love, prosperity to all of you.